Welcome back. We are now moving on to more items. Today we are going to tackle the headers. We're going to tackle these, take the exhaust off. There's a pipe that runs and connects in the center, which the rest of it was cut off because the cat was clogged. So we're going to take these off and hopefully get those on today. While I have all this stuff out, I've got the new master cylinder. I can mount that once those are in. Clean up some of this stuff, took the battery out, so I'm going to clean that. And we've got some other parts coming today, which is going to allow me to hopefully hook up these air shocks in the rear. I've disconnected the spring in the back, and I'm going to take that right off and see what kind of travel I can get. Also take off the sway bar link and the sway bar and the bump stop and a bunch of other things because I want it to get as low as possible. So possibly take out the axle as well. Sorry, the rear drive shafts. And get those out, have a look at the U-joints, maybe get those on order, and yeah, put the fuel pump in the gas tank, things like that. So let's get to work. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the bottom of the manifold. There's a couple bolts there that hold it on. I don't know if this stock pipe will attach to the new one or the new headers. So we're gonna have a look. Over here you can see the hole that was patched. I'm gonna put some more fiberglass on this side and grind it down, fix it up. But over there you'll see where the pipes join together. So the plan is to make this dual exhaust from straight to back. I'm gonna end up cutting part of that angle out if some of that pipe is still good, and then run two pipes straight to the back. Maybe mufflers, maybe not, I'm not sure. And yeah, we'll get working on that. It is kind of greasy under here. I don't know if I'll degrease all this or not today or in the next couple of videos. We'll see. It looks like from over here a new torque converter, which is nice. Maybe new transmission, I'm not quite sure. And maybe rear main seals leaking. I don't know, but I don't really want to change that at this point. Anyway, we'll get some sockets and we'll get that off. That was relatively painless. So we got 3 bolts out, 1 snapped, 1 stud, and 1 nut. So now we're going to move on to take off this side, this header, and hopefully this comes off pretty nice. Wow, there you go. They came off pretty easy, actually. I was quite impressed. All the stuff came out relatively easy. I will tell you that I did spray them since I've owned the car. I've had the car probably 6 months. Every week or so, come out and spray them, let them soak. I guess then they're kind of notorious for seizing in the block, so yeah. Also, I accidentally took out the coolant sensor, which drained the engine of antifreeze, which I wanted to do anyway, but just not today. So you can see that plug there. I cleaned that plug up, cut off the emissions tube as well. This thing gets sucked by the air pump and put back and all this mess. So anyway, we're deleting that. So all this is out. I think this is an oil switch or oil sensor. We've got pretty good pipe down here. What I'm going to do is see if the new headers fit in this pipe right here. And then we're going to go 2.5 inch all the way to the back. And yeah, it should be good. Maybe I'll take a little bit of a wire brush here, clean this up. And then I'll put them on, see what it looks like. I would like to paint the engine, but I don't know if that's going to happen right now because it doesn't need to be done per se. So maybe I'll just rock it like this for now until we end up pulling the engine. for a swap at some point. I would like more power, but right at this point, we just got to get the car going. And yeah, maybe just drive it this summer and enjoy it. So yeah, I'm gonna grab the other header and see if it fits. So here's the headers. I picked these up on Marketplace, pretty cheap, like $100 for the pair. Came with the gaskets and all the stuff I need. However, now I look at this. Someone's already tried to weld something on here. Look how small that is. That's too small. Either way, I don't think this is gonna work. Just by, you can see the angle. I put them in, or put one in. Maybe I'll put the other one in. There's a little dent here. But yeah, it doesn't fit down there. So, guess that pipe's got to come off, and then I can put these on and then build from there. So that pipe I don't think will work. Maybe I can use some of it. But, damn. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so I just cut the pipe off at the Y, and I'll tackle the other side after, just so I don't bore you with more work, because this takes a long time. But yeah, cleaned her up, still leaking a bit of coolant there, gave her a little spray, degrease, and now we're gonna throw the new header in and start bolting it up. I did notice something that's gonna be a pain, and that is, you see a bolt here on this side, but there it is on the inside there. Hooray. So I have these nice little bolts here that'll go through, and some new gaskets that are here somewhere. And yeah, we're gonna throw on, see what it looks like. Okay, one's on. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. I might be running into some issues down there, some of the clearance. It's just missing the mount, like just missing the mount. So I hope that's okay. That looks all fine down there. Probably the biggest pain in my butt to get all these tight. Now these, I had to make sure that they were straight and things like that, but they're only so long. And yeah, in this area, wrench fit here, open end wrench fit here, socket fit here for some reason, open end socket, you know, so hopefully I got them tight enough. We'll see. Next is gonna clean up the valve covers. I was gonna order some new ones, but I don't need them right now, so I might just get new gaskets. I'm not quite sure where the oil was leaking from, so I'm gonna just end up cleaning them a little bit. Take apart the intake here on the top. This whole cover comes off, and then I'll clean paint inside of here and make sure that's all nice. We're gonna take the air pump out, hopefully get a bracket to kind of go across and make this work. And yeah, we're gonna keep on going on the other side. And yeah, let's get her done. So a little quick update. I'm just, you know, a glutton for punishment, I guess. So anyway, I took the battery box out. I wanted to see what was under here. As you can see, we've got some more rust on the frame. This is the only bit of rust on this frame that I can see, or at least that I thought I could see. The other side's fine. This side, I guess, where this battery box was sitting, was just collecting stuff down in there. So leaves and whatever else is just sitting here rotting. So some of the bolts are broken, some of them I got out, no problem. Yeah, this stuff is okay. Wow, I didn't even see that. So yeah, that's cool. I took the vents off and the fender liner, so now I'm just going to hit this there with the grinder, clean her up, and then we're going to give this part a wash and clean it up, and then I'll start cleaning up these wires too a little bit later. But I should get the other header on and get that going too.
He's outside doing something. Let's go check it out.
Okay. So, we have the shocks on, or one shock on. This corner, I don't know if this is going to really be a good judge of whether it can move or not. It came with this little puny line, doesn't seem to be leaking. And I've gone up to 100 PSI and got about 1/4 inch of movement. So I haven't lowered the car yet completely, so I don't really know.
Also, it has no wheels.
Also has no wheels. So I'm trying it with the jack, trying not to kill myself or have the car flop over on the other side, but I think it'll be okay.
What's it jacked up by?
This is my heavy duty Mastercraft service intensive 3-ton race car jack, because this is a race car.
I meant the orange things.
Oh, those are called Ren stands. They're amazing. I haven't brought those out in the video yet, but I will. Maybe at the end of this video I'll do a little unboxing, which I did months ago. Been meaning to show you guys what's going on. But either way, yeah, so right now my compressor can only go 130 psi. So I've got 130 psi in the line. And we're gonna take this little valve here and see if we can get the car to move. So what I'll do is take a measurement first.
But where should I stand so I don't get hurt?
Just stand over here behind the chair in case it goes kaboom. Just don't fling your phone around because it.
That's my safety.
So we're just under
A chair.
17
Flip it.
at 18. This line right here. Give me a nice even number here somewhere. All right, 29 and a half to this line right here. Okay, 29 and a half. So what
Okay.
I'll do now is I have this jack kind of up. Yeah, so it's just, I've been trying to get the weight of the car on this. Now it's not set up correctly. It bolts in and all this kind of thing. I've got a plate in here that's kind of keeping this tight. You can see it move as I jack it up. So now the car is completely on the weight of the jack, at least one corner. Lost my measurement. I just had to. Okay. One more time. It's another 1/8 of an inch up. So 29 and a half and an 1/8. Okay.
I can't do that math.
Me neither. So safety first. Glasses are on in case it goes kaboom.
I don't have glasses.
We have your phone in front of your face. Just make sure it doesn't hit you in the face.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've tried 100. I think it moved a 1/4 inch. We're gonna now try 130. Apparently these are good up to 150, which I'd rather not max them right out, but we'll see. Yeah. Here we go. A bit of air there. So we're at 130. The bag is almost touching the side. That I can massage a little bit. And we'll check it again. Let's see if we move. And we are at 30. So we moved almost, yeah, it's 30 and an 1/8, so we moved half an inch. I can't put any more air in it to test to see if, 20 more pounds would make a big difference.
And what kind of movement were you hoping for?
Oh, we're losing air. Also, just a bit. Just any movement, really. So I was hoping that it would move at a lower pressure. But you can see as I let the air out, the car does move half an inch down. So, yeah. Not a good indication of whether these can lift the car or not. I need to put the other one on the other side and put some wheels on it, and then I'll be able to actually visually see it move up and down. But half an inch isn't really that much. They extend like 7 inches, so I was hoping at least I'd be able to max it out if needed, to get up over a curb or like into a driveway, you know, something like that. So this may prove challenging, I don't know. The back weighs obviously far less than the front, so I'm thinking that the back shocks will be fine for lifting and lowering the back. But this will definitely stiffen up the ride. If we're, you know, driving such as bouncing around, we're going to be at least stiffening the ride a little bit. You know, running about 70 or 80 psi while we're driving, but it fits. I mean, so far so good. It's just, you know, a couple more tweaks. Hardest part is the front weighs a ton, right? So it's going to be difficult to figure out if this is actually going to work. I'm just trying something out of nothing. So there are bagged Corvettes out there, but you need to change the control arm, and there's a bunch of other stuff that has to happen for it to be customized, like for it to work. It's not much stiffness at the top here to put a bag, so you know, usually they go coilovers or they go something like that, so it's like a static level. But I mean, we're getting some movement. I do have to take some of these suspension pieces off, and like the, you know, the sway bar is probably giving us some resistance. Definitely the spring that goes across is, or the monoleaf is giving us some issues there, but I mean, that's just holding the car up. So anyway, I have to make some adjustments on that, but yeah, it moves a little bit. I am thinking that maybe because I've lifted this with the jack, that other side is lifting as well at the same time. So this one may not have enough power to kind of lift the entire car up, only one shock. So we'll see. I have to first lower the car and get it as low as I want it, and then see if it will lift from there. But yeah, that's it for now. We're gonna go eat dinner. It is the next day. We are going to finish up the back, I think. Keep getting a little carried away with the front and, you know, things like that. But as you saw last night, we were able to get the air shock to move. I'm going to install a second one on the other side and then maybe test it that way. I think this is too heavy for only one, so hopefully it gets some more movement out of that. Under here, as I showed before, I don't know if you can see it in the video, it's kind of dark, but up in here, this mount is the wrong way for this shock. So what we're going to do is cut this one that goes with the bolt going left and right, and then we're going to move the mount and weld it back on this way. So this will mount up to it. With this mount here down at the bottom being protruding, and this little sleeve that's extended on the one side of this shock that I bought, it clears this portion or this bolt here once it's up and going. So I'm going to move the mount maybe just a hair this way, and that should eliminate some clearance issues, I hope. And yeah, we'll get this sucker going up and down. So right now I'm going to take off the straps for the gas tank, the old one, clean up a bit more, and take off the sway bar, take the other side off, remove the rear spring, and maybe give this a little bit of a cleanup. I was going to take these wheel bearings off. The other side's loose, which involves taking out the drive shaft and things like that. So I'm going to spray down some bolts, let them soak, and hopefully it comes off a little easier. And then I can start putting this niceness back into the car.
Who are these people? Where do they come from? What do they do? What's in a name?
lovely assistant has come out and brought me some juice. Sure. So we're gonna, I might give you a little update of what's going on. The bumper is off, or the bumper rebar is off. I've disconnected the spring completely. This now moves sort of freely. So what's going to happen is you're going to put some air in this rear shock because I have to make a new mount. So I want to see where it's going to hit and how much extension I get. So we've turned it down to about 60 pounds.
Oh, let's see the shock.
This should be pretty good, but ooh, there she goes. So that's not very helpful, but let me to relieve some pressure here. Oh, she's a little wedgied in there. Okay, so yeah, that ain't gonna work very well. Maybe. Oh. Okay, I'll just get it so it's not wedged up. Oh, suspension moves. Okay, so this is full extension. Whoopsies. That's fine. It's just more dramatic when I get to undo the little valve, and this will all get new air lines. This is very small and unreliable plastic. So the idea is I want to put new fittings on the end of this, and then it'll have to be more reliable. But anyway, we have lots of travel there, it looks like. And the idea is that this bump stop is going to go. And it should, and this, I don't have to do something with the sway bar. I'm not getting much flex out of it. Once it goes up, it stops the suspension from moving. So the idea is I want to have this up, you know, as low as possible because we want the car to touch the ground, right?
Right.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna look into maybe fabricating something to strengthen this base because this corner is going to be holding the weight of the car. So that is probably not good. When you put a coilover kit on here, you do use this, but they have an extra bracket that goes on here. Now, I think it just extends. I don't think it really, you know, puts any structure to it, but anyways. Good success so far. I turned this around. I'll show you. I'll show you the shock. This goes on the end here. Yeah. So on the end of the shock, there's a little sleeve, and this allowed me to space it out a little further this way initially to kind of clear this screw, or this bolt. But if I turn it around, it brings it closer to these trailing arms, which then allows me to get closer to the edge of this frame here. So I think that's the wise idea because this fitting can't go this way because it'll hit the drive shaft. So yeah, I think this will work out just fine. I just need to reach into my cardboard assisted design and, you know, do some stuff. Anyway, this is probably the most nerve-wracking part because I don't want to mess this up. Oh. But yeah, so far so good. I just need to start cleaning up the stuff. I think we're almost at a point where we're going to stop cleaning things and put them back together. So that's quite good. I do need new gas lines. Some brake line I think is broken. There's a couple things that need to be fixed. So as I touch one more thing, something else I find. So anyway. We're almost there, I think. And I just keep telling myself that, so we keep going.